A woke liberal professor gets a taste of what she helped create. Welcome to Dave's Club, your one-stop shop for all things patriot and conservative. I'm glad you're here. Man, I got a good show today. This is the kind of stuff that gets me fired up. I came across this article from the Times of Israel, and I just had to comment on it. All I can say is, thank God the left will eat its own. I don't have any sympathy. Her chickens have come home to roost. This article is entitled, Retiring Early Due to Anti-Semitism. A professor paints a dire picture of U.S. academia. Yeah, a dire picture you were part of creating. Woke activists are all about crapping all over other people. Then, when the mob comes for them, suddenly it's poor me, cry me a river. Alright, let's read this article. Professor Barbara J. Rissman never expected to retire early from the University of Illinois at Chicago, a place she's called her beloved academic home for the past 17 years. A College of Arts and Sciences distinguished professor of sociology, Rissman was committed to the university's social justice mission. But after the October 7th Hamas onslaught on southern Israel, both subtle and overt displays of anti-Israel and anti-Semitic behavior have gripped the campus to the point that Rissman finds she no longer recognizes the institution. Okay, before we go any further, to give you an idea of who this Rissman actually is, I want you to watch this clip of her.
The history of racism and continued gendered racism, the way in which, in particular, Black men face disciplinary racism in public schools, in fear when they walk down the street, those kinds of things have created a real crisis for the working class, for the underclass, but particularly for men in that class.
Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's continue with the article. Rissman states, UIC prides itself on being progressive and engaged. It's becoming a very alienating place to be right now. It's shocking when you think you are part of a community and you realize in many ways that you are not. Oh, not so fun when you're on the receiving end, is it? Rissman, who spent more than 10 years co-chairing the university-wide Committee on Faculty Equity and once enjoyed a long-standing affiliation with the Department of Women and Gender Studies, recently penned an opinion piece for the Chicago Tribune about her experience. UIC is no longer an institution comfortable for me, as a Jew who believes Israel has a right to exist, Rissman said, adding that according to the American Jewish Committee, more than 80% of Jews in America share her belief. When university departments and programs publish statements implying support for the destruction of the state, where more than half of all Jews alive today live, they have crossed the line from simple microaggressions, oh, here we go, microaggressions, against Jewish students and faculty to outright institutional anti-Semitism, Rissman wrote in her op-ed. And while an anti-Israel encampment hasn't yet sprouted on UIC's campus, as many others have on campuses around the nation, there have been numerous concerning incidents since last October. In November 2023, posters of Israeli hostages held by Hamas were ripped down, and anti-Zionist rhetoric and shows of support for terrorism peppered several campus demonstrations. Days after Hamas terrorists slaughtered some 1,200 people in southern Israel and kidnapped 252 to the Gaza Strip while burning, torturing, raping, and dismembering civilians, young and old, often while filming the violence, and well before Israel responded militarily, UIC faculty in the Women and Gender Studies and the Black Studies Department posted a joint statement on their websites to let Palestinian and Muslim students know that faculty members were concerned for their welfare. Isn't that nice? Moreover, the faculty of both departments denounced the ongoing escalation of settler colonial violence and expressed solidarity with those targeted by colonialism, racism, hetero-patriarchy, ableism, and state-sanctioned violence, Rissman wrote. There was no mention of anti-Semitism, the terrorist killings, or the 252 hostages taken, she said. When it comes to Jews, they do not care. Anti-Semitism is not considered one of those isms the university has to be concerned about, Rissman said. Oh, boo-hoo. Your chickens have come home to roost. I hope you like chicken salad. Alright guys, that's our show for today. As always, please support the channel by liking and subscribing. I'm posting 5 days a week, and you don't want to miss it. See you next time.